नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So I would like to seek blessings from all of you so that whatever I speak is in the Guru Parampara and for my purification. So thank you so much, all of you, for joining. And those who can switch on the cameras, please switch on the cameras. And yes, can somebody tell what all, I mean, in yesterday's session, what any one or two points which you covered in the last session?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I say?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
actually, first we are seeing about Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are seeing one by one. And now the sages of under Saunakati Rishi, there are 88,000 sages. They are actually asking, they are actually selecting Sutta Goswami as their guru. So here we are seeing how to choose a guru and how the listener should be. They are giving us a how the how humble and submissive should be the listener, and how should they accept the guru. The qualification of guru is mentioned. Then after that, in yesterday's class, what we saw was and we also saw how is the sage of Kali. In sloka number 10, we saw how's the age of Kali. It is very miserable. They are short-lived. They are irregular habits. They have irregular habits. They are misguided. They are unlucky. All that we saw in the 10th shloka. Now we are actually seeing why this Kali Yuga people are to be, like they are to be given some hints to come up from this misguided environment. That's why these sages are asking the questions to Sutta Goswami. Actually, they asked for 3 questions, I think. Already they have asked 3 questions. Now, in yesterday's class, we saw how pure devotees are more powerful than even the water of Ganges. They are powerful than water of Ganges. And we also saw how the Supreme Master is the representative of the Lord. Then we saw that leaders in the Kali Yuga are against the propagating the glories of the Lord. That we saw. And who all are actually propagating, who all are actually believing. The sages like Narada, they are all actually believing. That we saw, Mataji. Then finally we saw whoever is listening to Bhagavatam and whoever is speaking about it, all are becoming benefited. That we saw. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yes.
Sindhu Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, I just wanted to add that the questions by the sages, Mataji, that point.
Yes.
First question was, what is ultimate good? And the sages of Naimisharanya asking to Sutta Goswami. Yeah, second, and how did Lord Krishna take birth in the womb of Yeah, Devaki.
Devaki.
That's the third, I think. Second one, essence of the scriptures.
Correct.
So that was the three questions. I just wanted to tell that. And also,
Total 5 questions are done already. And in today's section, we will have the sixth question asked by the sages.
yes, Mataji.
So the sages also asked about Purusha Avtaras, right? And Leela Avtaras of the Lord. Correct?
Yes, Mataji, the incarnations and the pastimes.
Correct. Right? So these are the 5 questions the sages have asked so far. And as Archana Mataji said, you must have seen the what are the qualifications of a speaker and the qualifications of the hearer. And all the people, I mean the speaker, the hearer, and the other people who are I mean the who ask the questions, all of them they are benefited by this Harikatha. Correct? When we are talking about the pastimes, the glories of Lord Krishna. Correct? So let's go to the today's verse. I'll just share the screen.
Mataji, your background is this one, right? Madan Mohan, Vrindavan.
Yes, Mataji.
It is really nice. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Yes, who wants to recite the shloka? This is a very beautiful shloka.
Yes, Janki Mataji wants to
Yes,
recite.
Janki Mataji. All of you, please try to switch on your camera
Hare
so
Krishna.
I also can take your darshan.
Can I recite Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Janki Mataji.
Vayam tu navitrayama uttama shloka vikrame yachrinvatam rasajnanam swadu swadu pade pade.
Yes. Mataji, you can read the translation, then somebody else will read the purport.
Okay, Mataji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationship with Him relish hearing of this pastime at every moment.
Yes,
Hare
thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, Vrishabhanu Kanya Mataji, you can read the purport.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna.
There is purport by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. There is a great difference between mundane stories, fictions, or history of the transcendental pastimes of the world. The histories of the whole universe contain reference to the pastimes of the incarnation of the Lord. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are histories of bygone ages, recorded in connection with the pastimes of the incarnation of the Lord, and therefore remain fresh even after repeated readings. For example, anyone may read Bhagavad Gita, Shrimad Bhagavatam repeatedly throughout his whole life, and yet find in them new light of information. Mundane news is static, whereas transcendental news is dynamic. In as much as the spirit is dynamic and matter is static, those who have developed a taste for understanding the transcendental subject matter are never tired of hearing such narrations. One is quickly satiated by mundane activities, but no one is satiated by transcendental or devotional activities. Uttam Sloka indicates that literature which is not meant for science, science, and mundane literature is in the mode of darkness or ignorance, whereas transcendental literature is quite different. Transcendental literature is above the mode of darkness, and in the end its light becomes more luminous with the progressive reading and realization of the transcendental subject matter. The so-called liberated persons are never satisfied by the repetition of the word aham brahmasmi. Such artificial realization, uh, such, such artificial realization of Brahman becomes hackneyed.
Huh.
And so, to relish real pleasure, they turn to the narration of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are not so fortunate turn to altruism and worldly philanthropy. This means the Mayavad philosophy is mundane, whereas the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So the sages of Naimisharanya, they are saying here that we never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead. Correct? So they are saying that we are never satiated. Okay, so just we will see these two words, satiation and satisfaction. Okay, so satiation is the act of completely satisfying yourself or your need, uh, especially for food or pleasure, we can say. So, for example, if you are eating a jalebi, then how many jalebis you can eat at one stroke? Say 10, 15. Yes. Anybody wants to say how many they can eat? Any sweet for that matter, which you like the most?
4 or 5, Mataji.
4 Mataji maximum.
Maximum. Right? So,
But you will have
Mataji.
saturation point. Law of diminishing returns works. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji?
After that, you will reach a saturation point.
Correct.
And
You-
that's why law of diminishing returns works.
Correct. So you cannot eat more than that, right? But sages here are saying that we are not satiated um, by we are not satiated by hearing these pastimes. That means what? We are satisfied by this transcendental pastimes of the Lord, but we are not satiated. Means we want to hear more and more. Correct? So generally, mundane literature, it gives us satiation because at some point of time it happens that we don't want to read it anymore, correct? But it doesn't give us satisfaction. But the pleasure, the transcendental pleasure which we draw from transcendental literature, it is unlimited. So the sages are saying that we will never be satiated. So you just keep on glorifying, keep on narrating the pastimes of the Lord. So when once we just take a small example that when one says that I have sufficient, now bas ho gaya, I don't want any more. So actually there are three conditions when if he has a sufficiency of quantity. That means, as I said, whatever food item you like, how much you can eat. Suppose you like dosa, so even if you are eating it for your breakfast, for your lunch, for your dinner, but at the most 10, not more than that. You won't be able to eat more than that, isn't it? So there is sufficiency of quantity that you will say now enough, not more than this. Correct? So, or there is lack of awareness of taste. Suppose for a North Indian person, he doesn't have a great taste for dosa or idli or South Indian items for that matter, right? So that person will not feel like eating it. So that is lack of awareness of taste. And then third is lack of relish, right? So, sometimes somebody says that, tells you that, oh no, this is the best dish and this is nutritious also, it is nourishing, it is healthy. So you start eating it. But after some time you understand that I cannot take it more. Correct? Because there is lack of relish. You are not able to relish that. Correct? So, the sages, in the case of sages of Naimisharanya, so they didn't have that sufficiency of quantity. Correct? They are saying that they have not heard enough. So they definitely they wanted to hear more and more from Suta Goswami. Correct? Then the second thing is lack of awareness of taste. So no, that was also not the case with them. They were aware of taste of Krishna Katha, and so they were inspired more and more to hear Krishna Katha. So they were saying Suta Goswami to continue. And then lack of relish. So actually, as they were hearing Krishna Katha, they were really relishing it. And so they were saying that please do not stop, continue it. And then when we have such kind of test, then what happens is um, we relish those pastimes every moment. Swadu, swadu, pade, pade. Pade, pade is every moment, at every step. And it is palatable, it is relishing. So Krishna Katha, Prabhupada in the purport mentions that Krishna Katha remains fresh even after repeated readings. So Prabhupada is comparing mundane literature and transcendental or spiritual literature, that is literature related to the Lord. Mundane things static, correct? And spiritual or transcendental things, they are dynamic. Like matter is static, but spirit is dynamic. Like we know that simply body cannot move if the soul is not there inside, isn't it? The body will be like a dead body. Only when the soul is there, the body can move from one place to another. So spirit is dynamic and matter is always static. So mundane news itself, the word, it is news, NEWS, east, west, south, correct? The news from all the directions. But what we see in the news, correct? Generally, the same things are there and they are repeated again and again and again. Only thing is they are happening to new people, like accident news will be there, then some sports news will be there, some Hollywood, Bollywood news will be there, or some murder news or some court case going on. So the news will remain same, they will not change, isn't it? And what happens is today's newspaper, next day, where it happen, nobody wants to read the newspaper on the next day, correct? It becomes stale or it is a kind of waste only. The next
Yes,
day, the
sir.
news, correct? It becomes a waste.
Yes.
But the spiritual literature, this was Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna and 5,000 years ago, and still we are reading it, we are discussing it, and we are trying to apply it also, isn't it? So the knowledge was spoken long back, but still we are relishing it and we are trying to apply it in our lives. So it is applicable even in today's world also, and it will be applicable forever. That is the glory of the transcendental knowledge. So Srila Prabhupada, one time, Srila Prabhupada was in New York, and a reporter from New York Times came, and he wanted to interview Srila Prabhupada. So as soon as the reporter arrived, generally the reporter asks questions to the person whom he wants to take interview. But here, what happened is Prabhupada only started asking him questions. So Prabhupada asked him that, see, you are also printing and we are also printing, correct? We are printing books, you are printing newspaper. Then same pages we are using, we are buying from the market from the same stores, and we are also using ink for printing. So everything is almost same. It is a printing business. So what will be the difference? So why is it that whatever you print, that is newspapers, the next day no one reads? They become, they throw away. But whatever we print, people keep it and they keep reading it regularly. So can you give me the reason for this? Any reason can you tell me? He asked the reporter, and the reporter could not answer this question. So Prabhupada said that both of us are printing, the same resources are used, but one thing is temporary, correct? And other thing is there existing for a long time. So why? Because whatever you print is the all about this mundane material world, and after some time it becomes stale, but whatever printed about Krishna, it remains always fresh. Thus anything, the same printing, the same page, the same ink, but if you speak or glorify about the Lord through it, then it becomes a permanent thing and people read it again and again. People keep reciting, people keep hearing, people keep discussing about it. And anything mundane doesn't remain for a long time because the rasa in mundane things is very limited. Correct? We also, the same place we don't want to visit again and again. Every time we want to visit to a new place, isn't it? We think that we have visited this, let's go to some other place, right? So we cannot relish it, but spiritual things, things related to Krishna, we can relish. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was traveling from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, and there is a place in between. It is called as Varanagar or Baranagar, and in one hut there was one devotee, and he was reciting Shrimad Bhagavatam. Correct? And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not know about him. He also, I mean, he had also not met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was just reciting for himself and just to trying to please Lord Krishna. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard him reciting, he was reciting so beautifully and it was so enchanting and attracting that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into his hut and he started hearing that. Now we know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is nothing but Krishna himself, correct? So, I mean, the Lord, it is glories of him only, but still he was so much relishing his reciting of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he fainted in ecstasy. He started dancing there, isn't it? So then afterwards he said his name was Raghunath Upadhyay. And after this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whatever your name is, but now on I give you the name Bhagavat Acharya. And today also in Calcutta there is a beautiful temple in his memory. Okay, so the thing is that Lord himself also relishes, and all the devotees also relish about discussing, about glorifying the Lord. So these are the 2 points in this. So let's go to the next shloka. Yes. Sudha Mataji, you want to recite?
Can I
Hare Krishna,
recite,
Mataji.
Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Okay. The Prabhuji wants to recite, let him recite, Mataji.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
no. Please carry on now.
No, Prabhuji, you can
Thank
carry on.
you. I was. Thank you, Amma. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat pranam.
Dhanvat pranam.
कृतवान् किल कर्माणि सह कामेन केशव आदिमुत्तानि भगवान् गूढः कपटमानुषः. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you can read the translation, then purport. Somebody.
Translation I will read, Mataji. I have
Yes.
some difficulty in reading the
Okay.
purport.
Okay. No
Um,
problem, Prabhuji. I
yes,
will ask
I
somebody.
read more front and
Okay, Prabhuji,
lefty
somebody.
is not comfort, to be frank with you. Hare Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, along with Balarama, played like a human being and so masked. He performed many superhuman acts. Hare Krishna. Mother.
Thank you,
Please
Prabhuji.
help me. Somebody read purport, please.
Yes, yes,
Hare Krishna.
yes. Purple. Okay.
Shall I read?
Yes.
Purport. The doctrines of anthropomorphism and geomorphism are never applicable to Sri Krishna. It has gone up. It should go down.
You are not able to see, Prabhuji?
Now I am saying.
Ah.
Again, I'll restart. The doctrines of anthropomorphism and geomorphism are never applicable to Sri Krishna or the personality of Godhead. The theory that a man becomes God by dint of penance and austerities is very much rampant nowadays, especially in India. Since Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were detected by the sages and saints to be the personality of Godhead as indicated in revealed scriptures, many unscrupulous men have created their own incarnations. This process of concocting an incarnation of God has become an ordinary business, especially in Bengal. Any popular personality with a few traits of mystic powers will display some fear of jugglery and easily become an incarnation of Godhead by popular vote. Lord Sri Krishna was not that type of incarnation. He was actually the personality of Godhead from the very beginning of his appearance. He appeared before his so-called mother as four-armed Vishnu. Then, at the request of the mother, he became like a human child and at once left her for another devotee at Gokula, where he was accepted as the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. Similarly, Sri Baldeva, the counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna, was also considered a human child born of another wife of Sri Vasudeva. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that his birth and deeds are transcendental and that anyone who is so fortunate as to know the transcendental nature of his birth and deeds will at once become liberated and eligible to return to the kingdom of God. So, knowledge of the transcendental nature of the birth and deeds of Lord Krishna is sufficient for liberation. In the Bhagavatam, the transcendental nature of the Lord is described in 9 cantos, and in the 10th canto, his specific pastimes are taken up. All this becomes known as one's reading of this literature progresses. It is important to note here, however, that the Lord exhibited his divinity even from the lap of his mother, that his deeds are all superhuman. He lifted Govardhan Hill at the age of 7, and that all these acts definitely prove him to be actually the supreme personality of Godhead. Yet, due to his mystic covering, he was always accepted as an ordinary human child by his so-called father and mother and other relatives. Whenever some Herculean task was performed by him, the father and the mother took it otherwise, and they remained satisfied with unflinching parental love for their son. As such, the sages of Saranya describe him as apparently resembling a human being, but actually, he is the supreme almighty personality of Godhead. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the sages are they are now saying that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So we want to know about his activities. Krutavan kila karmani. Correct? So Krutavan means Prabhupada writes in the meanings that the activities, the acts done by Lord Krishna, Keshavaha, correct? The killer of the Keshi demon. So the activities of Krishna and along with Balaram, Saha Ramena. So and then what what the shloka says is Ati Martyani Bhagavan, correct? So Martya is human beings and Ati Martyani means superhuman, correct? So Lord Krishna performed so many superhuman activities. When he was just 6 days old, he killed Putana, and we know that she was 8 miles long, correct? Demonis Putana. And he did not, he was just a small baby, isn't it? Krishna was just a small baby, 6 days old, and he did not change his form or his simplicity or his innocence or his size, but he just killed Putana, correct? So when Prabhupada is condemning here that people claim to be God, right? So uh, these such activities, no ordinary people cannot imitate such activities, isn't it? Which 6-day-old child can kill a demon? Not possible, isn't it? So that's why it is mentioned that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. When he was 7 years old, he lifted Govardhan mountain. When he was 6 years old, he danced on the hoods of Kalia. And then when he was 1 year old, he went Trunavarta. Now he took him into the air. So 8,000 miles he went into air, and then he killed a demon and he landed safely on the earth. So when we hear such activities, we understand that it is not possible for any ordinary person to imitate such activities. Still, people claim that they are gods, right? But yeah, here it is said that Gudha Kapata Manushaha. Okay, so Gudha Kapata Manushaha means what? He 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 masks. I mean, we can say that Krishna is deceiving people by presenting himself as ordinary human being. Correct? We know that he is not an ordinary human being, but he poses himself as ordinary human being, or we think him as ordinary human being because he takes birth like a human being, correct? But we should not misunderstand him, correct? So Krishna deceives demons and devotees. No, he went to Jarasandha disguised as a Brahmana, but just to protect his devotees, or sometimes to gopis also. When he plays flute, the gopis came running. They go running to him, and then he says, "Why you have come? No, you have lot of work at home. No, you have to take care of your husbands. You have to take care of your parents. You have to take care of your children. So why you have come?" So he says like that, but actually Krishna never deceives. Other people are deceived or bewildered because of their attitude about Krishna. So bewilderment of demons is because of their ignorance, because they don't understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And bewilderment of devotees is because of their love for Krishna. Like in the end, Prabhupada mentions that his father and mother, they never consider him as the supreme personality of Godhead. Yashoda Mata always thinks that he is my little child, and no, he is so much dependent on me, and I have to feed him. Otherwise he will remain hungry and thirsty, isn't it? That is the consciousness of Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj, that they want to protect their child, they want to nourish their child very nicely. So this bewilderment of devotees is just due to their love for Krishna. But Krishna is not a kapata manusha. Uh, he um, he reveals himself only to the devotees. Correct? To the demons, he does not reveal himself. Let's go to the next verse. Yes.
I'll recite Mataji.
Yes.
Sloka 1.1.21. Pranams. Kalim agatam agnaya kshetresmin vaishnave vayam आसीना दीर्घशास्त्रेण कथायां सक्षणा हरेः सक्षणा हरेः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in this holy place to hear at great length the transcendental message of Godhead and in this way perform sacrifice. Purport that this age of Kali is not at all suitable for self-realization as was Satya Yuga, the golden age or Treta or Dwapar Yugas, the silver and the copper ages. For self-realization, the people in Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, living a lifetime of 100,000 years, were able to perform prolonged meditation. And in Treta Yuga, when the duration of life was 10,000 years, self-realization was attained by performance of great sacrifice. And in the Dwapar Yuga, when the duration of life was 1,000 years, self-realization was attained by worship of the Lord. But in the Kali Yuga, the maximum duration of the life being 100 years only, and that combined with various difficulties, the recommended process of self-realization is that of hearing and chanting of the holy name, fame and pastimes of the Lord. The sages of Naimisharanya began this process in a place meant specifically for the devotees of the Lord. They prepared themselves to hear the pastimes of the Lord over a period of 1,000 years. By the example of these sages, one should learn that regular hearing and recitation of the Bhagavatam is the only way for self-realization. Other attempts are simply a waste of time, for they do not give any tangible results. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the system of Bhagavata Dharma, and he recommended that all those who are born in India should take the responsibility of broadcasting the messages of Lord Sri Krishna, primarily the message of Bhagavad Gita. And when one is well established in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, he can take up the study of Shrimad Bhagavatam for further enlightenment in self-realization. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So the sages are saying now that Kali Yuga is approaching, correct? And we want to do a sacrifice, but the sacrifice for this age of Kali is hearing and chanting the names of the Lord, correct? So that is the recommended. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport that what was the methods for self-realization in previous yugas, like Satya Yuga, this thing meditation, Treta Yuga, sacrifices, and then Dwapar Yuga, deity worship, correct? But in Kali Yuga, the only method recommended is chanting and hearing the holy names of the Lord, correct? So one more point here we can see is what we can learn from the sages of Naimisharanya. So the sages of Naimisharanya, they had assembled, and when Suta Goswami arrived, all these sages headed by Shaunaka Rishi, they first welcomed him, they honored him, and they offered him a seat, correct? And they praised him, they praised his purity and great qualities. So persons whom we are getting, from whom we are getting taste of Shrimad Bhagavatam, that person should be honored, correct? So they prepared themselves to hear the pastimes of the Lord, correct? So and we should learn from them that regular hearing and recitation is the only way for self-realization. So what all things that how they received Suta Goswami, that one thing we should learn from them. We should honor and respect that person who is giving us the nectar of Shrimad Bhagavatam. That is the first point. Then second, we should express our eagerness to hear. Okay. Otherwise, if the audience is not attentive and not enthusiastic, then what the speaker will do, he will also complete the katha in less time. Correct? He will wind up the katha because the audience is not really interested in hearing. So he will not speak more. So the audience should be enthusiastic. Then only the class will go on for a longer time. Then we should have faith in Shrimad Bhagavatam that this is the only way I can achieve self-realization. Then we have to accept it in that way. And then one more thing, it is there that whatever we hear, we should try to share with others. Correct? If we hear and share the point with others, then it remains in our memory for a longer time. Otherwise, if we just keep on hearing, it comes and it goes also. Correct? But if we share it with somebody, if we discuss it with somebody, then it remains in our memory for a longer time. Because as Mataji said, that Kali Yuga qualities we know. Mandaha Sumanda Matayo. Correct? People are lazy, then they are misguided and
Quarrelsome,
quarrelsome. Correct?
short-lived.
And unlucky also. Correct? And their memory is very short. So in such cases, we should share it with others so that it can remain with us for a longer time. And then finally, we should express our gratitude for the speaker. We should be grateful. We should be we should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada who made this nectar available for us, isn't it? Because this literature was there, but it was in Sanskrit, isn't it? And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he first wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bengali language, correct? Then after that, the acharyas like Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they wrote books in English language, but their English was kind of British English. And Srila Prabhupada, he wrote the whole, all the literature in English language, but it was easy to understand English language, correct? And because of Srila Prabhupada only, so that's why we should be really grateful to Srila Prabhupada that because of him only we are able to read Shrimad Bhagavatam so easily, because he made this nectar available to the whole world. Previously, when it was in Sanskrit language, it was only available for limited number of people. So, and one more thing is, now this nectar is available to us, but we don't have taste for it, isn't it? We are still struggling, trying to read, trying to chant, trying to hear more and more. We are still struggling, so we have not developed that taste for this nectar. So what is the solution? So in Nectar of Instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami says that right now we are in a diseased state. We are in a diseased condition. So what is the solution? Like person who is having jaundice, if we give him sugarcane juice, because his tongue has become bitter, even if we give him sugarcane juice, he cannot relish it. He says that it is bitter only. Now we know that sugarcane juice is nothing but sugar only, so it cannot be bitter, right? But because he is in that diseased condition, he is not ready, he is not able to relish it. It tastes bitter to him. Then what is the solution? Drink it, still drink it as a medicine. So similarly, this chanting and hearing, we have not developed full taste for it. So what is the solution? We have to take it as a medicine. We have to keep it doing so that one day or other we will definitely develop a taste for it. Correct? So he keeps drinking that sugarcane juice, and gradually what happens is the bitterness goes down, and then finally one day he is able to relish the sweetness of that sugarcane juice when his disease is gone, and then he can he says ki, no, I just want it is not, just one glass is not enough, I want more of it. Correct? So that is the thing. So what we are doing is we are just taking this medicine because we are in we have still not developed taste. But Rupa Goswami, he used to, no, chanting was a nectar for him. Reading was a nectar for him. Correct. So he was really relishing all these things. Correct. Right now we are not in that state, but advanced devotees, those who are those who are advanced in spiritual life, they really relish all these things. So Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So by regularly hearing and chanting and recitation of Shrimad Bhagavatam, that's what Prabhupada writes in the purport. That is the only way for self-realization. So we should go step by step, and if you practice sincerely, practice seriously, gradually we'll definitely develop taste for this nectar, right? There is a beautiful story, but if time is there, I will tell that story. We'll first complete the verses. Yes. Yes, Divya Mataji, you want to recite the verse?
Yes, Mataji. त्वम्नः सन्दर्शितो द्रात्रा दुस्तरं निस्थितिष्यतां कलिं सत्त्वहरं पुंसां कर्णधार इवार्णवम्. Shall I read the translation, Mataji?
Yes, read the translation.
Please scroll. Okay, Mataji.
Yeah,
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as the captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being. Purport. Somebody wants to read the purport?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Yes, Madhavi Mataji, you want to read the purport?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The age of Kali is very dangerous for the human being. Human life is simply meant for self-realization. But due to this dangerous age, men have completely forgotten the aim of life. In this age, the lifespan will gradually decrease. People will gradually lose their memory, finer sentiments, strength, and better qualities. A list of the anomalies for this age is given in the 12th canto of this work. And so this age is very difficult for those who want to utilize this life for self-realization. The people are so busy with sense gratification that they completely forget about self-realization. Out of madness, they frankly say that there is no need for self-realization, but they do not realize that this brief life is but a moment on our great journey towards self-realization. The whole system of education is geared to sense gratification, and if a learned man thinks it over, he sees that the children of this age are being intentionally sent to the slaughterhouses of so-called education. Learned men, therefore, must be cautious of this age, and if they at all want to cross over the dangerous ocean of Kali, they must follow the footsteps of the sages of Naimisharanya and accept Sri Suta Goswami or his bona fide representative as the captain of the ship. The ship is the message of Lord Krishna in the shape of Bhagavad Gita or the Shrimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So here it talks about the dangers of Kali Yuga. And Prabhupada mentions that the only shelter for crossing over this ocean of Kali Yuga is none other than the boat of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Correct? So many times, I mean, it is the material world is compared to ocean. Okay, and we say that it is not possible to cross over this ocean unless and until we take shelter of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the lotus feet of Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead. So let us understand little about this ocean. So what difficulties or challenges when we face when we cross an ocean? Okay, let's have a quick discussion about it. So when we are going in traveling in the ocean, we may face weather hazards. Correct? We know that how weather changes. We know that how Prabhupada faced so many difficulties while he was traveling to USA. Then there may be fog on ocean, and then you can't see anything. The other ship also, if it is approaching, it is not visible if the fog is there. Or natural calamities like hurricanes or tsunamis are there, then hazard lot of this is really a hazardous condition. So in Kali Yuga also, when we say that this ocean of Kali, correct? When we say, so what is the meaning of that? So let us understand how is the weather in Kali Yuga, right? So weather in Kali Yuga is overcast with clouds of passion and ignorance. So and that's what the consciousness of people is totally corrupted, right? And because of that, they are not at all, they are not able to situate themselves in Sattva Guna. And they are not able to think of self-realization, going near to Lord Krishna. They are not able to because their consciousness is covered by passion and ignorance. So they are behind the pleasures of this material world, which are temporary. Correct? Then there may be geographical hazards like in ocean, like icebergs and all. So Kali Yuga also, we do get reactions of our sinful activities. Correct? Everything is going on smoothly and suddenly something happens. We don't know how this happened, why this happened. So we don't know why such things happen. That is because of the reactions of our sinful activities. Then also natural calamities are there like earthquakes, then tsunamis, and these also these disasters, they are also reactions of sinful actions of the people. Correct? Then enemy hazards. Sometimes some pirate ships, they attack the ship and all. So in Kali Yuga also, the gadgets, correct, electronic gadgets, they steal our Sattva Guna and they steal our consciousness from Krishna. The misleading philosophies which Prabhupada was talking in the previous verses, they try to steal bhakti from us. Correct? So these are the problems. And then sometimes problems in ourselves only, in the practice of our bhakti. Correct? Everything else is going right. We are in association of devotees, but there can be defects in practice of our bhakti, which may cause our sheep to drown in this ocean of Kali. So how can we cross this ocean then? The solution is given that we need to take shelter of devotional service of the Lord. So then we can cross this ocean. And glorification of the activities of the Lord. And it is said that when we regularly chant here and when we glorify the activities of the Lord, then this big ocean of Kali, it becomes like a hoof print of a calf. And then we don't need a boat and all, isn't it? We can just walk over it. And there is one shloka in Bhagavatam where it mentions that it also evaporates this ocean for us. If we are totally absorbed in the Krishna Katha, then this ocean is evaporated by the Lord. That is the mercy of the Lord on us. So, as the sages say that you are they tell Sutta Goswami as the captain of the ship, correct? Of the ship. So basically, we have to we have to take shelter of Shrimad Bhagavatam, because Shrimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. There is a shloka in the third canto that Krishnes vadama upagate dharma dhyana dibhi saha kalau nashta drushamesha puranarko dhunoditaha. Means when Krishna went back to his own abode, then Srimad, what is the shelter for us people in this material world? Then Bhagavatam came as Krishna, correct? So Bhagavatam is nothing but Krishna only. So we can take shelter of this, and then we can purify our lives, and we can cross over this ocean of Kali, right? And then we'll go to the last shloka. Yes. Prabhuji, you want to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji, I will recite.
Yes.
Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Brahmanye Dharmavarmani Swam Kashta Madhunopete Dharma Kam Sharanam Gataha. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. Shall I read purport, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Essentially, religion is the prescribed course enunciated by the personality of Godhead himself. Whenever there is gross misuse or neglect of the principles of religion, the Supreme Lord appears himself to restore religious principles. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Here the sages of Naimisharanya are inquiring about these principles. The reply to this question is given later. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the transcendental sound representation of the personality of Godhead, and thus it is the full representation of transcendental knowledge and religious principles. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the first canto, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Questions by the Sages. Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank
Pranams
you,
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Yes. So it is mentioned here that whenever there is neglect of principles of religion, Krishna, the Lord, appears himself to restore that. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. So Krishna, here it is mentioned that Bruhi Yogeshware Krishna. So Yogeshwar indicates that Krishna's prowess. Brahmanya indicates Krishna's merciful nature. We know that how Krishna is merciful on Brahmanas. And then Dharma Varmani means protector of Dharma, or he is the armor of Dharma. So that's why he descends himself, isn't it, in this material world whenever there is decline in the religion. So this Dharma Varmani, this Brahmani, this Yogeshwara Krishna, when he ascended back to spiritual world, correct, back to his own abode, Swam Kashtam Adhunopete, Dharma Kaha Sharanam Gataha, means where did Dharma or religion take shelter? Krishna is the shelter of all religious principles, correct? So in his absence, what is the shelter of Dharma? Because we know that Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. So Krishna propounds Dharma, Krishna maintains Dharma. So in his absence, what is the shelter of Dharma? This is the last question asked by the sages of Naimisharanya. So total 6 questions asked by the sages of Naimisharanya. And then in the next coming chapters, we will get the answers to these questions gradually, right? So I think we will stop here. So anybody wants to say something or share something, we can. Otherwise, we will stop. Or any point, or if you want to revise the questions asked by the sages, and you see that these questions, why they are important, because they were asked for the welfare of the human society. welfare of all people in general, right? These were not mundane questions, right? Whether I will get a job or not, no, whether I will get promotion or whether I will get a match or not. These were not the questions asked by the sages. They are very intelligent questions, isn't it? Because they are asked about the personality of Godhead, right? And so we are discussing about them. And now Shukadev Goswami will answer these questions, right? And Sutta Goswami will repeat that. Two conversations are going on, right? One is Shukadev Goswami narrating Shrimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj on the bank of Ganges. And here in the here in the forest of Naimisharanya, the sages headed by Shaunaka Rishi, they are asking these questions to Sutta Goswami. So don't get confused, because the references will come that Shuka Uvacha, sometimes Sutta Uvacha, right? So we should know that these two conversations are going on, and this Sutta Goswami, he attended Shukadev Goswami's narration when Parikshit Maharaj was hearing, correct? And now he is giving the same knowledge to the sages of Naimisharanya. So as I said, that sharing is also important. Whatever knowledge we are gaining, we should try to share that with other, so that they can also we can bring them closer to Krishna, isn't it? Because this is all knowledge about Krishna, and we want to go closer to Krishna, and in turn, we want to go back home, back to Godhead, back to his abode, our own in the spiritual world, right? Yes. So thank you so much. Shall we stop here?
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. You said you'll tell us a story.
What, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. You said you'll tell us a story.
Oh yeah, you are waiting for the story. Okay, yes. Yeah, this is a story.
Story means everybody will be eager to hear. You know,
Yes,
Mataji?
yes, Prabhuji. Everybody likes stories. But only thing is, I thought it will be late for everybody. So I said, let's keep it at the end. Otherwise,
Yes.
okay. So
You can tell. We'll wait.
Please continue, Mataji. In your class, there is always a story, Mataji.
Yeah, so this is a story about how we should practice sincerely so that we attain perfection of life, right? So this is a story from a saint in Maharashtra. Near Pandharpur, there is a place called as Mangalveda. And there was this person named Chokha Mela. You might not have heard his name, but he is a famous saint in Maharashtra. So he took birth in a very low family. He was from a Mahar family, and in those days, caste system was very prominent. So such low class people, they were not allowed to enter the temple, and they were not allowed to take darshan and all. So, but still, he was a very religious person, and he used to practice religiosity and his spiritual life. And once he came to Pandharpur, and he wanted to take darshan of Lord Vitthal. Okay, but as he was low caste person, he was not allowed to enter in the temple, and so from outside only he take darshan of temple Gopuram from a distance. And no, he said he felt okay, I'm satisfied that at least I took darshan of the Gopuram. And he kept on coming every day and taking darshan like this, very sincerely. And he knew that I won't be able to go inside. I won't be able to see Lord Vitthal. But still, he kept on coming, and he kept on standing outside only. He used to take darshan. So this is sadhana bhakti. I mean, this is how we should also practice. I mean, no, we don't know what will happen and what will not happen, but still we should keep doing the things. So once, yeah. So one time, Namdev Maharaj, another saint from Maharashtra, he came to Pandharpur, and he was giving discourses on Bhagavad Katha. And he used to, so this Chokha Mela, he used to attend that discourse every day. Correct. And Namdev Maharaj also, he saw him coming every day, but he never, this Chokha Mela, he never went and never went to him and ask any question or something like that. He used to just attend and he used to go. So one day this Namdev Maharaj, he called him and he said, "You are coming every day, but you are not coming near me and you are not asking me anything." So he said, "I'm from a very lower caste, so how can I come near you and how can I ask you something?" That was the humility of Chokha Mela. So uh, Namdev Maharaj said that for devotion, there is no requirement of birth, isn't it? Whatever caste you are born in, it doesn't matter. The uh, birth is not at all important. All you require is only your devotion to the Lord. So he said that I saw your sincerity and I will give you initiation and you take names of Vitthal every day as much as you can. And from that day, Chokha Mela was very grateful to Namdev Maharaj and he started no, chanting continuously all the time. He used to chant, but he never got a chance to go inside the temple. So what he used to do is he used to sweep the streets around the temple premises because only that he could do. And then he would sing bhajans. He would compose his own abhangas and he would sing. And because he was not that educated, he will not write that also because he couldn't do that. So he used to just sing those bhajans and abhangas, and he used to just clean the place nearby. And he but there were people who were envious of him, and they saw that he is continuously chanting, he is taking the name of Vittal, and he is happy and he is very peaceful. So they could not see that. See how the envious people of this world are. So they went and they asked him that you are brooming every day. What you are getting out of this? Correct? You are not you will never get darshan of Vittal. You cannot go inside the temple. So why are you brooming this just to show off? Do you want to show us that how much you are working and something like that? So Chokha Mela, when he heard such questions, he felt very, no, he was very hurt, and actually he never thought of show off or something like that. So, but he started lamenting that I did not think like this, but people are saying so. It must have, it might be so. So I should not, no, I should not go to the temple now. I should not go near the temple, and I will fast and I will not eat anything, and I will also not go to the temple. He took it so seriously. They just wanted to tease him, but he was such a pure devotee that he thought that people are saying like this, that I'm showing off, that means it must be like that. So this is a punishment for me. So here, what happened is Lord Vittal, he did not see Chokha Mela for 2 3 days, and he was missing him, and so he went. Lord Vittal went to his house. And Chokha Mela was surprised because he had never taken darshan of Lord because he could not go inside, and so he did not know how the Lord looks and all. So Lord came to his house and he said that because you did not come, I have come, and now I will come to your house every day. Okay. So that is the see the sincerity and seriousness of Chokha Mela, and that's why the Lord blessed him like this. And then one day, what happened is, one day Lord Vittal told him that, come, I will take you inside the temple. So Lord Vittal hold his hand, and they walked inside the temple. But for others, the scene was Chokamaya was walking. They could not see Lord with him, correct? But the Lord was taking him personally inside the temple, and the finally they entered the altar also, and the pujaris and priests there, they were shocked, right? Because this is this low caste person, how dare he come till this point? Okay, so they were very angry, and because did not see, they could not see the Lord, and they became very angry, and then they say that they said that there is only one punishment for you, that you cannot now stay near this temple. You have to stay there. There is a Chandrabhaga river in Pandharpur. So they told him that your punishment is you will stay at the other bank of Chandrabhaga river, correct? So now the distance was quite a bit, and and in those days there were no other means, so you have to cross the river through boat only, and so his frequency automatically reduced. He could not come like previously. He used to go there every day and clean the premises and chant the names of the Lord, but now he was not able to do that. His frequency reduced. But then what Lord Vittal did is, during the lunch time, he used to go to Chokamaya's house, and he told him that every day I will eat with you. I will take prasad with you. So Chokhamaya's wife, Soirabai, she used to cook whatever little, because they were very poor people. So whatever they had, she used to cook, and Lord used to, Lord used to have prasad with him. So one day what happened, while Soirabai was serving, curd fell on Lord's shawl, Lord's Uttariya, Lord Shela. And Chokhamaya said, what did you do? No, you, the Lord's, this Shela, um, you made it dirty. Okay. And he was talking like that. And one pujari from this Vittal's temple, he was passing by. And he thought that how this Chokamaya is talking like this, to whom he is talking like this, correct? So he went inside, and he said he could not see Lord sitting with Chokamaya, right? So he was he said that you are saying this, that curd fell on Lord's shawl, and this is you are saying just to tease me, isn't it? So he slapped Chokhamaya, okay, and he went back to the temple. And when he went back to the temple, he saw that the Lord Vithal's right cheek had become red, and it was swollen. So he could not understand what happened. And then Lord spoke to him and said that you slapped my devotee. So actually, I took that slap on me, and that's why my cheek is swollen. So you go and beg forgiveness for him, forgiveness from him, and bring him to the temple. And in this way, this priest, he went to Chokhamaya's house, and he brought him to the temple, and Chokhamaya could he could after that he could enter the temple, and he could take darshan of the Lord. So the thing is that though you are simple, or though you are from a lower caste, whatever the matter is, though you are simple, though you are poor, lower caste person, what matters is your sincerity and your seriousness to serve the Lord. And Lord sees that only. Lord sees our efforts. Lord sees our endeavors. He doesn't see the result, right? That result is awarded to us by him when we seriously and sincerely please him. Correct? We take his name, we chant his name. Correct? So, and one more thing is, after that, in his village, Mangalveda, still there was this lower caste and higher caste thing was there. So they decided to build a wall. And they forced all these lower caste people to build this wall so that, they did not want this lower caste people's shadow also, to so they just want to build a big wall so that these people will not enter their side. So all these people, they were forced to build this wall. And at that time, what happened? One day the wall fell down, and all the people who were working there, they were kind of killed only. Correct? They crushed in under that wall, and all of them, they died. And then when Namdev Maharaj came to know about this, he wanted to see, but I mean, they could not recognize anybody. Only the bones they could see. They were scattered there. So then Namdev Maharaj said that, I will, I mean, how can he make out, he wanted to build a samadhi for Chokha Mela. So he wanted his bones. Then he, took the bones, and when he saw that it was vibrating, Vitthal, 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 Vitthal. Okay. So that way, he, yes. So they were chanting Vitthal, Vitthal, Vitthal. So the Namdev Maharaj collected those bones, and then he made samadhi in Pandharpur, Chokha Mela, where he used to stand and sing his abhangas. So this Chokha Mela was a simple religious person, but how he became highly elevated devotee, that we can see from his simple story, that unless and until we keep doing this thing, that swadu swadu pade pade, we will not be able to relish, we will not be able to experience that rasa. Correct? And that's what sages of Naimisharanya, they are saying, that we will not be satiated. You just go on, you just continue, don't stop. We just want to hear Katha more and more. So that stage we want to achieve in our life. Correct? We have lot of distractions in this material world today, but we want to achieve this stage. But how we will achieve? By sincerely and seriously practicing sadhana bhakti, by taking that medicine of hearing and chanting, right? So thank you so much for patiently hearing the story.
Mataji, I have one question.
Yes.
That when the wall fell down, the Joka Maya, he also died. That's
He
why his
also
bones
died.
started.
He also died in that.
That's why the bones said, Vitthal, Vitthal,
Yes,
no?
the bones were, still taking the names of Vitthal.
Yeah.
So
Thank you,
that
Mataji.
much absorption in the names of the Lord we should have.
Yes, Mataji. True.
So we are trying.
Nice story, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam.
Mataji, thank you for the wonderful class, Mataji. Can I ask a question, Mataji?
Yes,
Please.
Mataji.
Mataji, can I read Shrimad Bhagavatam from, any canto, is it okay? Or from first canto is the standard? Means from first only we should start. If we
Yes.
start from anywhere, is it offense, Mataji?
Yes, offense, yes, Mataji, because Prabhupada also mentions in one of the purports that first to 9 cantos, they describe the transcendental nature of the Lord. And then 10th canto, pastimes of the Lord are described. Correct? So it is like when we are in school, so we go from first standard, first standard, second standard, third standard, and then we reach 10th standard. Correct? If we directly jump to 10th standard, correct? Then we won't be able to understand the concepts. When we gradually learn from first standard, in first standard, we just read addition, we just learn addition, 1 plus 1, or two digit addition, or something like that. And in 10th standard, the concepts are more complex, isn't it? You have integers, you have real numbers, isn't it? So if we try to do it when we are in first standard, then we won't be able to cope up with it, isn't it? So unless and until we develop that mood till 9th canto, then only we can read 10th canto, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. You want to stop live
Yes.
streaming?
Yes, Mataji, please stop, and we will stop the session also.
I think,
So,
Mataji, only you can stop live streaming because you are the
yes.
host.
Yes, Mataji. So thank you so much, everybody, for hearing patiently.
Thank you, Mataji.
Achyakalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद
Hare
की
Krishna
की जय
Mataji.
श्री
प्रभुपाद की
Mataji.
जय
Very nice session.
थैंक यू माताजी
दंडवत
हरे
प्रणाम
कृष्णा
माता जी थैंक यू
Thank you, Mataji.
प्रणाम
Yes, I will end the session for all.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
यस
Thank you.
माताजी हरे
See
कृष्णा
you. Yes.
Mataji, stop live streaming because you are the host.
Hare
So,
Krishna.